From WCI3 Plus, with your host, Kevin Lighty, this is Behind the Forecast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. I'm WCI3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty. Says so right there on the screen. And then also, you can follow me at so many of these different spots. You see right up here. Go ahead and give me a like, a follow, all those good things to stay up to date with things. I got to tell you, I'm so excited about our show today. A very special guest. Now, we've been going through over the last few weeks talking to the weather team with Jacob and Seth and Adam, but another kind of honorary person on our weather team, a legend here at WCIA, Judy Frazier, is coming up on this show. And we're going to talk to her a little bit more about, kind of her past and kind of, being with WCIA and, what has changed over the years. Super excited to talk to her on the show coming up here a little bit later on. So stick around for that. It's a real exciting, kind of cool conversation, a long-form conversation that maybe many of you haven't heard from Judy in a long time. And we talked to her and asked her some interesting questions here. So stick around for Judy. She's coming up. All right. Viral weather videos. There is a theme to this week. I have selected, and it's kind of wild, just kind of so happened to work out this way, 5 rescue videos. Rescue videos happening here. All 5 of our viral weather videos have to do with rescues. Okay, so this first one takes us to off the coast, I should say, of Massachusetts. The U.S. Coast Guard had to get involved here. Looks like someone here on a boat, choppy waters out there, and you can see him getting rescued, being hoisted up. Can you imagine being kind of hoisted up there in the waters out there? So again, that off of the coast of Massachusetts, U.S. Coast Guard heading out there to rescue somebody there from the waters. Whew. Well, as I mentioned, the theme continues here. Another rescue. This is going to take us to Apache Junction, Arizona, where officers responded to a 911 call of a stranded motorist caught in water, and they obviously had to conduct a water rescue. So now you're looking at that video that you see here. You can see some of the fast-moving water there. A man's car was swept away after heavy rains moved through the area there. The Apache Junction police received that phone call, and so they came out to do the rescue. You can see them there at night. Scary, just how fast that water moves. Again, can be a scary thing, but a lot of training goes into it for them. But this is body cam footage from the officer that did go out there and successfully rescue this person. So there you go. Speaking of rescues, here we go. I'm not kidding. I told you these are all rescue related. It's kind of wild, and it's still in Arizona. This one during the day, though, this time they brought the fire truck out. Okay. The rescue of a driver stranded in floodwaters, New River, Arizona. Crews were able to position the ladder truck there, fire engine there above, and got the driver to safety. You can see him there climbing up on top of the vehicle on the hood there, then right there into the ladder truck, and then take them to safety down there. So pretty wild stuff. Man, we try to say this all the time. Turn around, don't drown. Don't put the rescuers in the position because, boy, they've had a lot of those. They've got the training for it, but, boy, let me tell you, they would rather not have to go out there and do these kind of rescues if they didn't have to. So just another video there showing the rescue. Okay. The last couple of rescues here, I was like, all right, we got to show these. This first one also flooded waters, but it's a dog rescue. Look at this little guy out there in California, Camarillo, California. One step at a time, rescuing a small dog there from a flooded wash there. Ventura County first responders waded into the water to bring the dog up a small ladder to safety. There, you look at him. Oh, wet. Looks like he did okay. Got him to safety there. It was a little cold, they said, obviously. But the dog, okay, you can see him out there. Take a look at it again out there. Must have, at least got into some of those weeds and tall grass there to stay safe, for a minute. And then the rescues came out to finish the job. So great thing there. The rescues here Even the dogs turn around, don't drown. No, I'm kidding. All right, this final one, maybe not entirely weather related, but I couldn't believe it as I was going through to select the videos. It was another dog rescue. So I had to show this one. Now, this actually happened again in Arizona. A lot of stuff happening in Arizona here. Maricopa County responded to an early morning call near Battleship Rock after a camper's dog was seriously injured after a fall and could no longer walk. Okay, so the crew located them in a deep canyon and successfully hoisted the pair to safety, securely lifting the dog in a special canine rescue harness. Thanks to the crew's compassion and care, the brave pup was reunited with its owner, taken to an emergency vet. It was okay there, but one of those deep canyons out there in Arizona, they came, they rescued him, and got him to safety. So there you go. Humans, dogs. Here's the moral of this. Thank you, first responders. Thank you. I mean, look at these guys. We have the U.S. Coast Guard there off the top, and now these guys and gals out there doing their thing to rescue the pup, get him up there to safety, the people out in the flooded waters as well. So great job by all of them to do what they do to keep people safe out there when they get in such predicaments, and not just people, but animals as well. How about those 5 rescue segments there for you guys? Okay, coming up, super excited. Again, as I mentioned, Judy Frazier, who was a long-time weathercaster here, over 30 years at WCIA. If you watched even, just the tiniest bit of WCIA, over the years, you saw Judy, Judy, really famous for her woolly worm forecast as well, which you can check out on our website at WCIA.com. But in this next segment, we're going to talk to Judy a little bit more just about her past and her career and, what has changed, what she liked about the weather, what kind of weather is her favorite, and just kind of get a little behind the scenes with Judy. It's really going to be a great conversation. So definitely encourage you guys to stick around for that. That is coming up here. We're going to take a little bit of a short break, and then she'll be back here with us. So don't go anywhere. The very legendary Judy Frazier, longtime WCA3 weathercaster, is going to join us after the break, so stay tuned. And welcome back here. We have our special guest here today. She's a legend, WCA3's very own Judy Frazier. How are you doing, Judy?
I am doing very well. You make me sound like a pioneer.
Well,
which is kind of what I am, right?
You are. You came before us, all that came before us.
Yeah.
You basically, put out the red carpet. You laid the foundation and the groundwork of what WCA has become, and it's an honor to be sitting here with you again today.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very proud to be part of your team also. Yeah. I mean, I have always felt this was my second home, and so the people that are here are very special to me. And so being part of your wonderful team is very, I'm very grateful to be that. I really enjoy it.
Well, it's amazing. So you were with WCIA doing weather for how long? 25?
Well, 35 years.
35 years.
I came in 1976.
Wow.
Mr. Roberts was still here. He was the main weather anchor. And he did, the 6 and the 10, and I did the noons, all the noons and the weekends. So I really had a schedule that was kind of crazy,
Noons and then weekends.
And then weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a long, long time ago. And I worked with Mr. Roberts for probably 10 years. And then when he passed away, then I stepped into, no, I did not step into his shoes. I had to make my own
Had to make
path.
your own path.
Absolutely, because his shoes could not be filled.
Your shoes were pretty big.
Yes.
And we still hear about, him today, I'm out and about, Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and then of course you as well.
Yeah.
Boy, a lot has changed over the years, right?
Yes.
In terms of how you did forecasting and green screens and did you have the magnets and stuff back then?
Oh yes, we had magnets, and I think I had a pointer which I've donated to the museum. That was Mr. Roberts and my pointer, and so we would have maps the size of this that were magnetic. Or there was a, what is it called, the board, you put the forecast in the little board.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And so it was very, very primitive. You know, we either had the magnetic or we drew on the map with a magic marker of some sort and put the highs and the lows. And so it was very different. And to take a radar picture, it was some sort of contraption that took probably 15 to 20 minutes to develop. It was like a film of some sort. Mm-hmm. And so by the time it would dry that you could use it, we'd put it on some sort of poster board, it was 45 minutes old, you know, compared to today where you have immediate information. But it was very, very different.
Do you think that, you know, a lot of people today, there's always the joke, and I'm sure you guys got it back in the day too as well, that, well, you guys, boy, if I had a quarter, you know, for every time I was wrong about the weather, I'd be rich, or, you know, you've heard that back then too. Weather forecasting has gotten better with technology, would you say?
Yes, I would say so, because people used to say, you have a job where you can make more mistakes that we'd get fired for, and you still continue.
You still have a job.
Have a job. But weather has always been unpredictable, I guess you could say. But because of technology today, you can do pretty accurately for 7 days out, which we never, ever could do. I mean, we were lucky if we hit 3 days, you know. So the technology has really, whether we will ever be able to pinpoint various weather events, I don't think it's ever going to happen. They always say it's if a butterfly flaps its wing in China, it's going to change everything. And so, you know, I think that, but we've gotten so much better, and people, you know, people used to call me and say, my daughter's getting married in August. And it's January. Yeah. Could you tell me which weekend we should pick? And I said, I can't even tell you which weekend this month.
This month, yeah. Judy, I still get those phone calls from those same brides that ask the same thing.
I believe it. But it's wonderful to watch today because you get such up to the minute data and details. And so sometimes when you say it's going to start raining at 3 o'clock, my gosh, it starts raining, you know, 10 to 3 o'clock, and I'm thinking, wow, we couldn't do that years ago. So that's great.
And I think that's why I think some of us, you know, these days feel so much pressure. We have copious amounts of resources and things to look at to try to come up with these forecasts. And you guys had far less, but you guys still did great things back in the day.
Yeah, well, I can remember there were times when Mr. Roberts would go out on State Street and ask the truckers who used to come down that street from Chicago, can you tell us what's the weather up there, what's coming in, and so forth. You know, and today, obviously, you can just push a button and there it is. And so it's interesting. I remember telling Jacob one time, I said, if all of you went down with some sort of a flu bug, I'm not sure I could do all
you
of this
could jump
anymore.
in? Yeah, of course you could. Of course you could. We would call you in an instant. We think we need to have you back every year just to do a whole shift. We should just make that a thing.
Oh my goodness.
So let me ask this question: what got you into weather?
Well, I've always I have had a varied career in television. I have a broadcast journalism degree from the University of Wisconsin, and so when I first started in television, I did Romper Room. I was Miss Judy on Romper Room School because there weren't many opportunities for women as part of that newscast. And I worked at a television station in Madison, Wisconsin, had been doing Romper Room. I was the hostess for the theater and all of those kinds of things. And the station came to me and said, we have a meteorologist who is going to retire in, you know, a year, maybe two, and we'd like you to do the weather. And I thought, okay. But I thought, I'm going to take this opportunity. I went back to school. I didn't ever, you know, go the whole route because I was working all the time. Sure. But I audited, and the National Weather Service took me under their wing as an apprentice. So before I ever went on the air, I was knowledgeable. I knew what I was doing. I did not want to be the typical weather bimbo.
Yeah, You could say it. Judy, you could say it.
I mean, it was true.
Sure.
Way back
There's a stigma
when.
about that, yeah.
So I figured I wanted to be knowledgeable before I went on the air to talk about something that's very serious that affects people's lives. And so that's kind of how I got into it. And once I got into it, it was fascinating. I loved it. And I loved making that connection with people and being able to give them information, whether it was a farmer, whether it was a teacher, whether it was a child, to start their day weather-wise and, to warn people about the severity of certain weather events. And I just, I took that with me. And then I went to Boston and did nothing but weather when I was there. And they gave me all of these names to pronounce, like Worces. I'd said Worcester. That's what it sounded like, but it's Worcester.
Worcester, yep. Learning the names of the cities. Right?
Absolutely. Right?
It's always tough. But we got a lot of weather that happened, over the years here.
Yeah.
And the connection that I have with Judy is that I was a weather watcher.
Weather watcher, absolutely.
Over in Veedersburg, Indiana, a 14, 15-year-old kid, and I would watch, and you always would show the weather watchers in different parts of the area, and I was like, well, I could do that. And you like WCIA did used to cover those Indiana counties.
Yes, they did.
Because we got both over there.
Right.
And so I was, they need somebody over here. So I remember calling up and be like, hi, Judy, can I, and you're like, she was so nice, and I'll never forget that. And then when I got to come back here and basically not fill your shoes because can't fill Judy's shoes, but to be able to make my own here. And it's been so cool to do so in that full circle moment even for me.
Because I remember when I interviewed you somewhere downtown just before you started.
Correct.
And we talked about, the Weather Watcher program and that you were a Weather Watcher kid.
Yep.
Which was such fun because you got to talk to, I'm a people person and I love people connections, and that was a great way because you got to talk to people all over Central Illinois,
And it's so cool, even back then, talking to people, and I feel like we don't do enough of that, these days, because everything's on the phone and texting or talking to people and having conversations and talking to the trucker coming down I-57, and find out what the weather is.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing. So I know that. So you've covered storms over the years and whatnot, and we've joked about this, but would you ever go in the storm tracker with Jacob?
Yes.
She wants to do it.
That was always one of those hidden things that I really was on my bucket list to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if people, close to me would be thrilled about that, but I trust Jacob. And I just think that would be a cool thing to do. Just one time in my life to get out there. And
so you never have had the chance to go and basically storm chase or see a tornado to go and chase a
never have.
Storm. In all your years?
In all my years, never had a chance to do that. So I don't know, it kind of appealed to me. I guess there's a part of me that thinks that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool. We will try to make that happen. There's going to be a lot of paperwork that everybody has to fill out and sign because we was like, oh goodness, if something happens to Judy. So maybe we can make that happen in the future.
It just would be on one of the things that I always had on my bucket list. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the technology things that has changed is for us to be able to do that now and be able to have radar in the car and live streaming the camera.
That's just unbelievable. I mean, when I watch at home, now I'm a viewer, so I have a different perspective than when I was here, but to actually see all of that and see what you can cover and watch these storms. There are times I get a little nervous for you guys. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I can see that thing moving here. But it's exciting. I mean, all the things that you do are exciting too.
What is it like to be a viewer now? To be a viewer sitting at home and I guess watching after you did it for so long. How do you view that, like through that lens now as you're just a regular person at home watching?
I know, because you start to, when you're a viewer, I start to pay attention maybe to the things you say and the forecasts you have, and I suffer with you when it's totally wrong.
Totally wrong, right? Still
and
happens.
I understand why, though.
Yeah.
You can't. I always wanted to go back the next day and explain why the forecast was wrong, but you don't have enough time.
Yep.
You have to cover today and tomorrow. You can't go backwards. But I pay more attention to that, and I know when you guys are, as I said, you said it was going to rain at 3. It rained at 3, but then I can remember other times when, whatever the forecast was, and it was...
Yeah, exactly.
So I may look at it a little differently that way, but I also suffer with you people.
I appreciate you being there. I'm going to think of that when we get it wrong. Be like, all right, Judy knows what I'm feeling. Judy knows what I'm feeling like.
I commiserate.
You commiserate. There you go. What do you miss? What do you miss the most?
I miss the people the most. The people that became my family here. I miss the people out there, the viewers, the public, who I touched in some way, and they touched me right back. So I miss that, and I get that when I go to the Farmer City Parade, which is coming up in November. This is my 49th year.
Grand Marshal.
I'm hoping I'm going to make the 50th, but that's a way when I can be amongst the people. But I also miss the challenge of being productive, getting up, coming here, putting all the information together, looking at all the computers, all of the data, and coming up with a forecast. So I miss that, but I miss the people the most. That's what I miss.
What advice would you have? We all look up to you a lot here at the station. All of us do. And what advice do you have for those of us, whether it's me, Jacob, Adam, Seth, the reporter? What kind of advice do you have for those of us still relatively young in our career?
Right.
What would you say?
Well, I think all of you are doing the kinds of things that I used to do. As I said, I'm a people person. I like to connect with people, and I think you do that on Fridays when you go out into the communities. Because I think if you can establish a strong bond with them, they will believe you, they will trust you. And that's so important when it comes to weather. And so I think all of you are doing exactly that. You're bonding with the people out there, and I hear that when I go places. And to me, that's the most important. Book learning, all that is important, but if you can't get that knowledge into people's homes that they understand, trust you, and believe in you, it's for naught. That's just me and the advice I would give to all of you.
I appreciate that. Just a couple minutes here before we kind of wrap things up. Did you have a favorite type of weather that you covered? Were you more of I like a sunny day, or were you like, I like the active stuff, or where were you on what you like to?
Well, if you had a period of like what we've had, hot, sunny, no rain, it's boring.
Yeah, boring. Okay, it's boring. Thank you.
It's boring.
Thank you.
I would rather have, I don't want like the year we had 67 inches of snow in 1978. But I like, when there's a little activity in the weather, where there's a change. Otherwise, you run out of things to say.
Right.
Another hot, dry, withering day.
How many other ways can we say hot and warm and dry? Right.
And people, will say, I can remember a farmer said to me one time, he said, when it was very dry and hot, and he said, I need rain, Judy, on the back 40. Can you do something about that? And I said, oh, how I wish I could.
I love it. So one more thing, and we'll just kind of use this as a toss to your woollyworm forecast here. So we're getting ready here, and you're going to be able to catch that on another show. So go and look up Judy's woollyworm forecast. And so this whole time we've been holding our guy here.
My special little woollyworm that somebody gave me, Camargo. I'm not sure they still do it.
They do.
They do.
The Woollyworm
okay.
Festival. They just actually had it. I believe this past weekend. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody gave this to me, and it's a little worse for the wearer. He's probably 20 years old. He's lost a few feet and a couple of spikes and stuff. But it's very special to me because I love the woollyworms. It's always been a tradition, a custom that I've done for 40 years. So I carry him with me when I come and do the woollyworm forecast.
There he is right there.
Yeah, see him?
And the woolly worm that has been around for a long time, a lot of folklore behind all of that.
Weather lore, all of that, whether it's fact, fiction, or folklore. It's fun.
It's fun.
And I love to share it with people.
Well, perfect. So here's what I encourage you guys to do is to go and look up the woolly worm forecast with Judy. You're going to learn all about what she thinks about the upcoming winter, what the woolly worms are saying, see some of the pictures from people. We'll touch on some other things like persimmon seeds and all kinds of other information that helps us tell the weather well before computers were ever a thing, right?
That's right. We had to do it by the skin of our teeth, I guess.
There you go. Fantastic. Judy, thank you so much for joining us. It's been amazing to talk to you. And listen, we're going to take you up on that. We're going to put you in that storm track as long as there's some paperwork to fill out and whatnot. As long as you're down for it, Judy.
Okay.
You're a legend.
Oh,
we love you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I love you guys too. You're my family.
Well,
always will be.
You are always welcome here anytime that you want. You want to come fill in on Jacob's shift, come on in. We'll kick him out for a day. It'll be fun. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Judy Frazier, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So cool to be able to talk to Judy there. We thank her again for coming in and giving us the time to chat here on another edition of Behind the Forecast. We'll see you again next time.